Good morning. Let me just quickly go through question 1 of one of the IEB papers, where you are required to solve for x, and you are given the following equation. You are given that 3x multiplied by x minus 5 multiplied by 3x minus 1 is equal to 0. Please note that here you are given 3 vectors. The first vector is 3x. The second vector is x minus 5. And the third vector is 3x minus 1. And all these vectors are equal to 0. Now, you need to understand that here, what you need to do is not to break the brackets, because a lot of students will go ahead and break the brackets and then try to factorize. Please note that here everything has been done for you, so you don't need to break the bracket. Already these factors are equal to 0. All you need to do is just to take each vector and equate it to 0, because if you have vectors multiplied and their product is 0, then one of these vectors must be equal to 0, because the only way you can have a product of 0 is when one of the vectors is equal to 0. For instance, you can take 2 times 3 times 0, but because of this 0 here, the product will be 0. Or you can have 2 times 0 times 5. Again here, the product will be 0. But 2 times 5 will give you 10. So the only way you can have a product of 0 is when one of the vectors is equal to 0. But here we don't know which vector is equal to 0. We don't know if it is 3x. We don't know if it is x minus 5. We don't know if it is x minus 3. Therefore, we are going to take all of these vectors and equate them to 0. So we'll start with 3x. We will take 3x equated to 0, or x minus 5 is equal to 0, or 3x minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. Now, the only reason I didn't factorize that is because on the right-hand side already I've got 0. If I had 1 or 2 or any other number except for 0, then I was going to have to factorize and then take that number to the left-hand side so that I can be able to factorize. I was going to break these brackets and then multiply everything by 3x and then bring the number, add like terms, and then factorize. But because this side I've got 0, there's no need for that. Now, by equating each of these vectors to 0, then I get a linear equation. And to solve for x in the first one, I will just divide by 3, both sides by 3, and that will give me x is equal to 0. 0 divided by any number is 0. In the second one, what I'm going to do is to take 5 to the right-hand side, and when I take 5 to the right-hand side or transpose it to the right-hand side, it'll become positive. Therefore, I'll end up having x is equals to 5. In the last one, I'll have to transpose this 1 to the right-hand side. I'll be left with 3x is equals to 1. It was negative, now it will turn and become positive, and then you divide both sides by 3, which is the reciprocal of multiplication. Therefore, you'll have x is equals to 1 all over 3. That's it. Okay, let me give you number 2 and you will do it on your own. And check out the next video for the solution to B. So this is what B is. Try to solve for x here, where you have the square root of 2x minus 1 minus 7 is equal to 0. Try this one out. All right, thank you for watching. Hold on.